Avance.
Oh my stars, Cole Caulfield ties it.
He's in. He's gone. Oh my! Belmanov.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another live post-game episode of the Curfew Boys. We got a special one for you tonight. We got our boy Joey back in the house, live from China, South Korea, North Korea, whatever you want to call it. I still don't know where you are. Where are you exactly? You're in
I'm in
South?
Seoul, South Korea.
So, South Korea, Joey is back in the house. We got Statman Joe. Before we get things started, let me introduce you to my boys. We got Fireman Sam in the house with
Hey,
this
now.
alfalfa hair tonight.
Yeah, alfalfa for real.
So you'll fucking
I have like I'm like Taint, the comic book, whatever those
fucking
Yeah.
taint.
Okay, I'll try to fix it. That's where
We got GQ GQ Chris in the house tonight.
Hey, now.
You got myself, Anxious Anthony, and of course our boy Joy from Seoul, South Korea. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you hear, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X. And if you want to see our beautiful faces, you can follow us and subscribe and like our YouTube channel. All our content is on Instagram and Facebook and X, like I said. If you want to hear our podcast on the radio, on the drive home, or in school, or in the metro, wherever you want to call it, you can listen to us on any podcast platform, such as Apple, Google, Spotify, you name it, whatever you like to listen to. Also, I would like to thank our sponsors for tonight's episodes. We got Mike's Barbecue Rubs. He's a Canadian company based out of Montreal, Quebec that sells barbecue rubs, sauces, and kettle-cooked chips. All of their products are proudly made and packaged here in Canada. They could be used on all types of meats, vegetables, and even fish. Their chips are kettle-cooked here in Canada, and they're the only company in Canada who is using their own barbecue rub as their seasoning for their chips. You can follow them on social media pages such as Facebook, Instagram, X, and Twitter. TikTok and X. All their products are available to purchase on their website at www.mikesbarbecuerub.com. And they also ship all across Canada. And don't forget, guys, always, don't forget to rub your mates.
what accent
Also-
was that? What kind of accent was that?
Andrei Markov's in town, just saying.
Oh,
Exactly that. We have another sponsor for tonight's episode, Les Délicieux La Fenêtre. Some of the best peaches here in Montreal, cakes, cannolis, and our favorite, Les Zeppelis, especially through the month of March, especially now during the holidays, December, guys. Go to La Fenêtre for your desserts for the holidays. Christmas is just around the corner. They have 6 locations, including Rosemere, Brossard, Saint-Julie, Montreal West, Pointe-Claire, and of course our hometown here, St. Leonard. Visit lesdelicieuxdelafrenette.com. They are simply delicious. And of course, our sponsor, Sunio Habs Cave, a man's cave dream for Habs fans all around the world. Follow Habs Cave on Instagram for the best Habs memorabilia content. This guy has everything. You name it, he has it, especially toilet paper in his washroom with the Maple Leafs logo and the Boston Bruins logo. Awesome guy to know.
He's gonna need the Ottawa Senators logo real soon.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, give him a follow. He's an amazing guy. Supports the community. Great guy to know. Great guy to talk to. Just a good guy. Humble guy. Follow him. Habs Cave. All this information will be in our bio and on this episode if you want to follow our sponsors. Whew. Guys, what is going on? Joey, the floor is yours. Your opening statement. Go.
I mean, I have to be honest, because of time difference, I can't see every game, but the games I do see, especially this one, softer than effing baby shit. What the fuck was that? Every time we play Ottawa,
baby shit, and then you said fuck right after. What? Like, say that again.
okay, softer than fucking baby shit.
There you go.
So trying to make a bit PG-13, but you caught me there. That's the first thing I thought of when the episode ended. I don't know what it is against Ottawa. We always look very soft. Not always, but they seem to, for me lately, really it's bothering me more than when Montreal loses or doesn't play well against Toronto and Boston. There's just something with Ottawa. They seem to have more of our number. And of course, we didn't play well. We had a lot of mental errors coming from Matheson and Dobson. And my all-time favorite is Samuel Montembeault. You cannot get a greater goalie than him. Elite status, number one. Love it. Keeps us in games, as you can see. Like this game here. Bit of sarcasm, of course. It's just, I don't know.
A lot of sarcasm.
A lot of sarcasm. Yeah, I know. I don't know with him, guys. Every time I watch, he had that good game a couple games ago against Vegas, but I cannot support him as a number one. Just it really grinds my gears, and the fact that they played soft, he wasn't there to help. It's just obviously, and it showed in the result at 5-2.
Yeah. When you need the saves to kind of help your guys bounce back, maybe sometimes those key saves are important for getting some sort of momentum back. It's just not happening. It didn't happen tonight. Unfortunately, it's been the story of the season for him so far. We're in December. It's December 2nd. There's still kind of there's still tons of hockey to go, but it's something that he's going to have to figure out this month, because come January, then January is going to be another packed schedule. The month of December is packed already. January is going to be packed as well. February, you have the Olympic break, and then March, well, it depends where you are in the standings. If you fight for a playoff spot, you fight to maintain a playoff spot, or if you just play for pride because you're not going to make the playoffs, he's got to figure it out this month. Jakub Dobich too. He's got to figure it out this month. Marty's got to figure it out this month. The whole team's got to figure it out this month. I understand there's the injury issues, but no, you can't play soft like this against not only a rival but a division rival. So no, tonight was awful. Not just Sam Montembeault, everybody. I'm gonna throw in the entire team. You know, you win as a team, you lose as a team. You mentioned Matheson and Dobson, Joey, for the most part of the season. Those two have been solid.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, it wasn't their game. Tonight really wasn't their game. Mental errors with the puck. Probably a little too nervous, gripping the stick too tight, because simple passes that they could make, they weren't able to. Fumble the puck here and there, a couple of giveaways here and there. It wasn't their night. On the overall, the forwards too. The only forward I could give credit to somewhat, maybe Nick Suzuki. You know, you could see the effort there. I like Slav's game. I really like Uri Slavkovsky's game. He got a good power play goal. Front of the net. He was in front of the net when Suzuki sniped it. I like the way he controls the puck, but you can tell he was out there like, who am I going to give it to? Like, who do I give it to? Demidov and Kapanen are rookies. He's playing with rookies. It's normal that they're not always going to be at the right place at the right time. But you could tell he's there, like, tonight. At least tonight. I'm going with just tonight. He's like, he didn't know who to give it to at times. Controlling the puck, controlling the play, controlling the pace a little bit. It just wasn't there. It wasn't there tonight on the overall from top to bottom. You know, and I just want to make not an announcement. If ever our title, people notice that we wrote 5-1, the final score is 5-2. There was just a typo, and we couldn't fix it before going live. So I'm just pointing that out there. But yeah, final score of 5-2. Yeah, it was awful.
Well, from
My
go ahead.
I was going to say on my side, Sam, you took the words out of my mouth with regards to Slavkovsky. That was the most I've ever seen him rush the puck as a Montreal Canadian, and I really, really love that. I think in terms of what he brought, I think he would be the number one difference maker for the Montreal Canadiens today. Nick Suzuki, you texted it, and I was thinking the exact same thing. He's solid. He made a bunch of great plays, but between the and not to get religious, but between the defense parting the seas and giving the space, and Sam Montembeault just not able to make those saves, it's getting to be bad. And don't forget, there were 2, if not 3 times where the guys cleared the puck off the goal line. So it could have been another 3 goals. He couldn't get pulled tonight because Dobesh is expected to go in tomorrow. So, that's something in
Good
itself.
point.
On the day where, on the anniversary of Patrick Roy,
I
letting in
was
yeah,
waiting
all
for
that
somebody to mention it today. Yeah.
well, there's
Yeah.
that, and I'll go as far as saying this. Even on RDS, I think that was the first time that I've actually seen them openly say, "Sam Montembeault, you have to be better," which was
Mhm.
surprising in a way because usually they'll go out of their way to protect.
But I find Mark
Uh,
Denis is not as biased because especially him. He was a
he's
goalie.
that's
So
well, that's
yeah.
it. And the last thing I'll say, Joey, or even Anthony, to have your say is it goes without saying that it's brutally hard without a guy like Caden Gooley. Very, very, very hard. But one of the biggest
Yep.
differences that I've noticed, and I don't think it's a question of how much time he's playing. I'm looking at it as his play. Alexandre Carrier took a huge step back.
Mhm.
Maybe it's because of the constant defensive pairing changeups that he doesn't have any stability with a guy like any one guy in particular. But I really find that Alexandre Carrier has not been as much of that rock. I don't think he's been making the greatest defensive plays,
Well, there's no
and
David Savard.
there's
David Savard's
no,
not
but this,
there.
but even to say like Alexandre Carrier, end of last season and beginning of this season was absolutely stellar, especially at the beginning of the season when they went on
Mhm.
that tear. He is not that same player. You know, I'm not saying give up on him. I'm not saying trade him, but he is not that same player, and it shows, and it's painful. And like we've talked about Jackeye getting minutes cut. We've talked about Struble getting minutes cut. We've seen Engstrom come in and out of the lineup. But one of the guys that I think they have to look themselves in the mirror, and I don't care if he's a veteran or not, Carrier is just not meeting the standards.
No, he
Yeah,
can't. But him too. He's a guy. He's a bottom pair guy. He's a bottom pair guy. But I like the fact that you're mentioning that maybe with all the pairing switch ups here and there throughout the game. I think so. Maybe he's injured. I don't know what it is, but no, him too. He's got to step it up big time.
Yeah, what I was going to mention, and Chris took it out, took the words out of my mouth too, is when you were talking initially, Sam, the thoughts of the game. Well, if you kind of read between the lines of what you mentioned, we're missing Gooley in a big way for defense to provide.
1,000%. Baby.
Yeah, to provide that. I mean, it's not talked about as much. Injuries happen, but Gooley, especially for Carrier, Carrier's game relies on stability. And to me, the most unstable thing you can do is constantly switch pairings. That's not, maybe a guy like Hudson can adapt to it. Guys like Dobson, Matheson, they're more higher end defensemen, but Carrier needs to rely on stability like we did with Savard or like having Gooley at the beginning of the season. And right now it's not there. And Montreal not making the saves, that's just a recipe for disaster. And same with the forwards. I mean, you're missing. I know we haven't talked much about Line A, and for now it's okay without him. Power plays the only thing that's been working, but like Sam said, who do you give the puck to? Well, there's no Doc or Newhook, which to me even more Newhook. He's provided a lot of timely goals. It's missing completely, so you're being more reliant on the first wave of forwards to score, and if they don't, well, you're kind of missing that secondary option. So all that mixed together, it's costing us dearly in games. It's really costing us dearly. But for me, it's Cooley above all is really the one that's
But-
without stability and with no goaltending, we're having a hard time keeping the puck out of the net.
Yeah,
Look,
agreed.
I have a lot of concerns to bring up because look, we keep saying the same thing over and over again. The goalie issue, right? The injury issue, but this has been on fucking going year after year, and I think now it's up to management to start making some changes here because we can't just keep using those excuses. We make it multiple times. We say this multiple times. Injuries happen. But for fucking God's sakes, it's the same injuries year after year, and they're piling up year after year. We never have a healthy team, and that's a problem. That is a fucking problem for this organization. How I understand there's injuries all across the board, all across the NHL, but it seems like it's the same players, and it's always our team that just pile up injuries on a yearly basis. So we can't keep using that as an excuse. We
Right.
need more backup. We need more depth in our team. I like what Kristen just wrote, and I know Sammy, you just posted it. It can't always be the first line that show up, and when they don't show up, and you said it's Joey 2 seconds ago. We need secondary. We need secondary. So sorry, Hughes, Gorton. As much as I appreciate, like I'm trusting the process. I have faith in them. I know it's coming. I hope, but we need to start making changes and
They're
fast.
searching though. They're searching. They're searching for a second line center.
100%.
It's been
I know.
it's known. It's known and it's out there that the Canadiens are making phone calls. But the trades are going to happen just right away. It's
I know it's easier said than done, and we're not there.
But they're digging around. Here's my thing: is absolutely, and like Christian's comment, it can't be just a top line. But this is where your second line center, your lack of centerman, is hurting big time. And I love Oliver Kapanen, I really do. I just don't see him being the second line center for this team, and he's doing fantastic for a rookie.
He's going to be a third, fourth center.
He's going to be a third, fourth line center. I said this before. I had my hopes up on a player like Owen Beck, but Oliver Kapanen is taking over, and him as our third line centerman can be fantastic. But this is where you need your second line center in the spot of in between Slavkovsky and Demidov. You get that, now you're going to really be flying within your top six. I want to see Kirby Dach, who's skating. I want to see him play a couple of games with Slavkovsky. I really do. It's going to be tough to split that up, but I really want to see Kirby Dach play a couple of games with those two. And when he comes back, you have to send Jared Davidson back down. You can't keep him a healthy scratch all the time. He was Laval's best goal scorer. Eventually, Florian Xhekaj is going to go back. Sammy Blais is scoring goals in his first 3 games with Laval, so I get a feeling he's going to be called up. But where is the depth right now? We have the depth at defense only. We no longer have. I think it's no longer have the depth at the forward position. So I get you.
But there's one more point I want to bring up. And it's this character of this team. I want to stop. And yes, we need that goalie to make these key saves that turn momentum in games. Like it's 4-2. That 5th goal just ruined that momentum. But we can blame the ref and the call that happened, the missed call right before that goal.
Yeah, that was awful.
However you want to call it. But again, we're just pointing fingers, always pointing fingers. So yes, I agree that we need that goalie that can make these key saves to change momentum. But enough is enough. As a whole, and I like what you said, Sam, we win as a team, you lose as a team. But right now, we're getting fucking outshot game after game.
We're not shooting enough either.
We're not shooting enough. That's been a fucking issue. We're trying to find that perfect play. Enough is enough. Just take the shot. We're getting outshot. We're getting outscored. And that character aspect that we all said last season, like that and remember that we always said catch up hockey. We're not even seeing that anymore. We're down in the 3rd period and we're not catching up anymore. I don't want to catch up hockey, but that character aspect of a team that doesn't stop fighting until the end is gone in the last a few games. Is this the identity of the team now? Like we're in the month of December.
They don't have an identity right now. They kind of lost it.
Exactly, but that high that we had in the month of October, November, when we kept saying this team is fucking beautiful, it's amazing, we're loving this. Was it just the honeymoon stage? I don't know, because now this is coming out, and again, the injuries, the goalies, the this and that, but the fight to try to win now is not there anymore. I'm not seeing it. Remember a few episodes ago, we all said this many times. We're so excited to watch this team. We open the TV and we're so excited to watch. Win or lose, there's just excitement in this team, excitement in these players. It's just fun to watch. I have not felt that excitement in who knows how long. I'm sorry, I'm speaking for me right now. In the last few games, I'm not feeling that anymore. I'm going to the game tomorrow night, and of course, I'm excited. I'm going to the Bell Center. I'm excited to watch my team, yes. But the feeling that I had when I was going to those games in October and the feeling that I have going tomorrow, it's not the same.
Anthony, you're not used to it yet?
What?
Habs always October, November, always if their team is good, not in a rebuilding phase, always do well. In December, I always know it's always an awful period for them. It's like just history repeats itself every year. December is always a bad month for them. And I'm saying tailing into the beginning of winter, always a bad month for Montreal. So I'm just kind of used to it. They just have to, I guess, just be just okay in those months because they always end up come around February, March. They always seem to really, really push the envelope when their team is capable of, and I believe they are. But they always are very lull and soft in this period all the time. It's hasn't changed for God knows how many years.
Yeah,
Anybody else?
I'm just
Well,
discouraged. But yes, you're right,
it's
Joey. But at the same time,
it's-
from what we witnessed this whole beginning of this season, it was just a different team. I get what you're saying, history repeats itself and whatever, but we just saw something so different at the start of this season. It was just different, and now we're seeing the old habits again for some whatever reason.
Of course, but
Um,
old habits take time to change. But the first thing to change from it is to make new habits. Well, is for sure new changes have to be made, and let's start with the secondary scoring. So that's the first thing they got to fix. Every team goes through injuries. Every single team goes through it. Probably worse than, just as bad or worse than Montreal. It's just other good teams are able to manage the injuries better than the Habs right now, especially. So, like Sam said, they're looking for that second line center. So let's see what comes out of it. If there's one team I always keep an eye on, and it's not because I hate them or anything, but I've been wanting Pittsburgh to have such an awful season and then to finally
It's
have
not.
the crop.
It's not happening. It's
I know,
not
Sam.
happening. It's not
Hey, but Sam,
happening.
let me dream it at least. Let me just
You listen. I know you're in different time zones, but listen. What the problem is, they got to stop losing the way they're losing. If you look at tonight's loss, the loss against Colorado, the loss against Washington before that, you let in 8 goals, you let in 7 goals, you let in 5 goals.
Yeah, it's
You can't do that.
secondary
Can't do
scoring
that.
isn't it for
You
sure.
can't do that. The Dallas Stars game 7-0. Okay, Boston you lose 3-2, 5. The LA Kings game you lose 5-1.
Yeah, the good teams that you're losing.
You know what I mean? You can't do that. I mean, at the end of the day, whether you lose 5-2 or you lose 2-1, a loss is a loss, but you can't keep giving up that amount of goals like that. You just
No.
can't. You just can't, and I think we're all still frustrated the way they lost against Colorado, which was it was an awful game, but it is
the
the
thing is, we
Colorado
start off
Avalanche.
very well. That's what
Yeah, we
that
did.
Avalanche
We
game
did.
pisses me off because we started so well, and the first period, it ended with me saying, "Fuck, we can give Colorado that second loss of their season." And then Colorado just woke up and just showed us and showed everybody what type of team these guys are.
No, and I don't blame Marty for going in with Dobish that game because if you remember last year, Montembeault had a fantastic game against Vegas and they ended up winning. Jakub Dobish, he played a fantastic game against Colorado. He ended up winning that game. I think it was a shootout or overtime, something like that. So I don't blame Marty for doing that. But tomorrow the Canadiens have to take advantage of a Winnipeg Jets team without Connor Hellebuck. Like they have no choice. There's no choice but to go into that game, and you have to win tomorrow's game against the Jets because for the rest of December, you'll have 2 days off until they go to Toronto on Saturday. And then from then on, it's back-to-back games on a Saturday, Sunday, and then it's a game every other second day. You have no choice. They have no choice but to win tomorrow because it's the only time they're going to get 2 days off in between games. And you
And
can't
just to
head to
shift a bit,
Toronto
right?
with a
Just
loss.
to shift a bit of the just to change the emotions in the locker room as well. Like obviously it's a
Big time.
different feeling winning rather than losing. So if you can win tomorrow against a good Jets team without Hellebuck, I think it can also bring up a little of their spirits, bring the locker room mood up a little more, and hopefully it could
Yeah.
start a new streak, and maybe they can go back to how they were playing in October and let's say beginning of November.
Oh, 1,000%. They get the Christmas break off, obviously, but
I think that will do them some good as well.
yeah, I hope so. And again, like you want to enter the holidays on a winning streak too, right?
Yeah, of course.
You know,
But
so
we should mention. I mean, I don't know how much you guys mentioned in the last episode, but the whole secondary scoring. So what is it? Do you feel everything's been right? Do you think Marty's to blame on Demidov's ice time, considering other rookie forwards like where he ranks and points to game ratio where he ranks? I think he has 19 and 25, about 26. So how do you guys feel Marty's been handling or managing his ice time, considering we're
was better.
having this trouble with lack of
Better.
scoring?
It was, believe it or not, it was better tonight.
For
was.
sure. But
It's
I'm looking at the grand scope of the past few games.
well, I swear to God, it seems as though Marty's reading the tabloids, because every single time there's any sort of criticism, I think this guy is taking it to heart because he's addressing it in his conferences. Funny enough, oh, I'm not using Demidov enough. I'm not using, and that's the number one go-to kind of criticism these days. But I still don't think it's the best. I mean, even if you look at the first line, take Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki. They got points tonight, but they got points on the power play. You know, Bud Zirk didn't really have anything there. And I know that there's a dynamic. I know that there's something between Slav and Demidov. But, I mean, Demidov clearly is still having a little bit of difficulty on that second line, finding space, maybe even dealing with a little bit of that physicality. Why? Why have we not yet seen Demidov get a crack at the first line if you see a game like tonight where Bodzik is struggling? Why? Uh, and that's the thing. I understand that Joe Valeno, a lot of people, and myself included, were saying, well, why is his ice time so similar? Obviously, it's because of penalty killing minutes, but I would also go as far as saying, even if you're not necessarily shifting Demidov's position and putting him onto another line, I definitely think that there should be an excuse to get that line out more often. I think that the fourth line is completely irrelevant. That's my humble opinion, but I think that line is absolutely irrelevant. And again, I'm not picking. I don't want to pick on the guy, but even in the third period, before Gallagher got the penalty, which was the nail in the coffin for the Montreal Canadiens. It was 4-3. It could have went to a power play, and we scored all our goals on a power play. Like, Gallagher at one point in the third period was not even being marked, skated behind the net, stopped and fell. He's falling a lot. He's offside a lot. He's behind the play a lot. Valeno was not necessarily contributing anything other than the shorthanded. Texier is still getting used to the, playing with the Montreal Canadiens. I don't even understand how it was, even if they didn't have the greatest game, I don't understand how it was Josh Anderson and Jake Evans who played less time tonight. Even if you want to take Florian Jacki off that third line and switch him with anyone, whether it be Texier, whether it be Valeno, I really don't care. Why are the guys that would contribute more playing less, and especially that fourth line? Like, they're fucking struggling, and they're always out there. It feels like they're always out there every fucking second shift, and that pisses me off personally.
Yeah, I get it,
Wow.
Chris. It's also
I
a
mean-
trickle-down effect as well, because Evans technically and likely Anderson should be on that fourth line, which would be effective. But given the injuries, this is where they're becoming a third line. And then Marty, one of the criticism is mismanaging players' ice time. So starting with Demidov, and now he's playing the fourth line. He played a little more than the third, likely due to penalty, but they really, really struggled. And Marty just today wasn't able to adapt it. He didn't read it properly in that sense. So he certainly needs to do a better job of that.
I mean, and I mean, he has done it tonight, but it hasn't paid off. Look at Demidov, 17 minutes, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Slavkovsky with the most, 22 minutes and 34 seconds, more than Suzuki. Caulfield, 18:41. who was
Yeah,
that?
Demi Goffey did.
Look at Bolduc. Look at Bolduc at 12 minutes 25 seconds. And imagine he's a first line guy. Well, yeah, he's not a first line guy, but he's on the first line for this team at the moment. So I don't know.
It's
You're
like I
damned
said,
if you
it's
do.
the
You're damned
Evans.
if you
It's
do.
the
If you're damned, yeah. But they didn't have a good game tonight. They
didn't
had
have a good
a
game,
terrible
but
game
like,
tonight. But
that's
I
the
get it.
difference between I find Marty and other fucking coaches like John Cooper. You're not going to see him, even if in the rare instances that some of his guys, Sorelli. I'm not going to go with the Kucherovs. I'm not going to go with the top tier guys. But even when his secondary, like his second line guys, are not having the best game, he still goes back to them over and over and over because at the end of the day, I'm going to go back to the whole Moneyball type of references. I want the guys who, statistically speaking, are providing the highest likelihood of offensive production, especially if we're chasing the game. And I don't fucking understand why we're seeing, even though they got more ice time, and yes, hats off to Marty for that, but I just don't understand certain games, even if certain guys are having tougher games. Like, I didn't think it was blatantly atrocious. And considering both Anderson and Evans play on the PK and they only had the time that they did, that's a big red flag to me. That's my opinion, and I'm more than welcome for somebody to be in disagreement.
Well, when dude, a game like tonight, when the guys you want the best guys, the best chances coming from your best players, he's giving them those opportunities, and he's finally giving the kid some minutes too. It's just again, it's one of those it's one of those games tonight where like they just didn't know where to go and what to do. They didn't know how to they couldn't simplify their game at one point. They just didn't know what to do anymore. They were clueless. They were absolutely clueless tonight.
Yeah,
Fair, absolutely fair. But again, Joe Veleno plays the same role, the same bloody role as Evans and Anderson. Joe Veleno 14 minutes. Jake Evans just cracked the 9-minute mark. That's where I go.
But,
The fuck.
but he's at -3. At some point,
Yeah.
like if he's just not having a good night, you're gonna keep putting him out there. I love Jake Evans. I love Jake Evans.
But is
I
it
really
Jake?
do.
But is it Jake Evans or is it Monty shitting the bed?
Well, it's like I said, it comes down to everybody. But at some point, you're a centerman,
Yeah.
and you gotta cover your guy. If you're not covering your guy, this is another thing too that I want to bring up. Before we came on, I listened to Suzuki, his post game comments, and he mentioned like tonight the man on man coverage. We were afraid of messing up. Is that a bit of a message to the coach? I don't know if he's saying a message. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it was obvious. Like the second goal, Caulfield. If you're playing man on man, he leaves a guy open like that. We can blame Monty all we want. You leave a guy open like that. Yeah, you want your goalie to make the saves. You want the guys in front of you to defend properly as well.
That's the one I was going to mention, Sam, was that goal specifically. That was on Caulfield more than Montembeau. Like, you have to follow Zoom for sure.
At first, I defended Monty on the first goal, and then the more times I saw the replays of it, it's like, yeah, you want to make that save. Was he screened? Was he not screened with Madsen in front? And I forgot who the other player was. For sure, I'm saying it again, from top to bottom tonight. The guys were absolutely clueless, flat on their feet. They didn't know, they couldn't defend tonight. And even when they were playing man on man, like Jake Sanderson, just like he looked like a man playing against boys tonight. And listen, say what you want about Jake Sanderson. As a hockey fan, I love him as a defenseman. Like I think he's going to be the American version of like a Rasmus Dahlin. Brady Tkachuk, the more I watch him, the more I want to rip my eyes out because I can't believe that draft. Hindsight is always 20/20, absolutely. But the more I watch Brady Tkachuk, the more I still can't believe we didn't pick him.
Sam, I would say with
192 points in his career so far, or goals. No, 192 points, right? Or goals.
What's this?
Brady Tkachuk scored his first goal this season with a total of 192 in his career, I believe.
Anyways, so all that to say, can you imagine if we had a Brady Tkachuk? I'm just putting it out there.
I'll spin it positively. If you have Brady Tkachuk, you may not finish, the sequential seasons, the following seasons in the order you did, which we ended up drafting good players. So I don't
Maybe,
know. That's the only positive.
Bah,
You might not get
maybe.
late. It might be an effect. You might not have a late Hudson. You definitely will not have a Demidov. So I'm gonna try to always look at it that way, because if I look at it just draft, for sure I'll smack my eyes out.
I don't know. Like Ottawa drafted him, but yet they were still shit for the next following drafts. Like they were still a bad team.
I know, but they were certainly in a different position than we are.
I understand that,
but Sam, it's the only way.
Joe, you want me to let you dream? Can I fucking dream too now?
Yeah, but mine's a little more realistic. Just a little. Like it's more possible.
I forgot what your dream was. So.
Well, for Pittsburgh to do shit, so we get Crosby.
That was never going to happen.
Dude, stop it. Yours is more realistic? Are you crazy?
Well, yeah. Well, think of it now.
Think of it now. What?
Brady Tkachuk, how are you going to get him? You're not going to get him.
How are you going to get Sidney Crosby?
Sidney Crosby's, there's more of a chance than Brady Tkachuk.
If you're looking at that, well, okay, instead of you have a 1% chance, and with Brady you have a 0% chance.
It's still better, I guess. But Sam, I look at it that way because if I look at it the way you do, yeah, I want to take my eyes out and just like completely stomp on it, and I don't want to see. But that's how I try to see it to stop myself from scratching my eyes out. I know it was a bad draft. They happened, so I just try to see if we had him, dynamics for sure would have changed. Having Brady rather than Kotkaniemi could have altered the way we were in the next few drafts. That's just how things are. Things don't stay the same if you have a different player. It changes, part of the course of the future. If you change something in the past, well, likely the future is to change as well. So that's why
stop watching Avengers like Endgame and shit, like them going back. Don't quote Bruce Banner, the Hulk, on me and shit.
But I will point in, Sam, on what you said to Chris. Actually, I think Marty did a better job with the time management maybe from Evans tonight. I was speaking in general, but I think you could have thrown Caulfield, Demidov, Suzuki, Evans, whoever, 40 minutes. I don't think anything would have changed tonight. I think no matter what lines you rolled out, they all didn't play well. It wasn't a specific player. I think they would have still lost. No matter what you did with the lines, what you did with the management, the feeling I got tonight, anything they did, the way they played, they would have lost. So it's more of like reflect it and know how you can learn in the future. If it's a 1-goal game and it could have been more effort here, mistake, sure, but entire team being from Montembeault, not following the players, even the good players having bad nights, only scoring on the power play. I think no matter what you did, I don't think it would change tonight result.
I honestly thought the opposite. I mean, I thought coming out of, we had a great win against Vegas. I think we played one of the best games this season, that game there. Then losing the way we lost against Colorado, having 2 days off, coming back home after that big loss, I thought tonight they were going to come out strong. And that would have shown character. The character that we all see in this team would have been had to be shown tonight.
I think we're underestimating. I think we're underestimating what kind of a fucking garbage road trip that was too, with the different time zones and all that, coming all the way back,
it wasn't a horrible road trip. Like, we beat Vegas.
Dude. I think us as hockey fans, we underestimate how it's not the easiest thing to go from the furthest East Coast team all the way out west and go to different time zones and different altitudes and then having to come back. I don't think physically and mentally this team was ready for tonight. No. I really don't. Does it sound like an excuse? Maybe it does, but it's also a reality. And you hear a couple of people here and there saying like this is, sometimes it actually does play a factor. Tomorrow, however, there is no excuses now. Like time zone differences, traveling back 24 hours later, playing a game. I don't care. There's many times where we play a team that just played a game 24 hours prior and they look like they have more energy and we look like the tired team. Now it's our turn to look like the team that has more energy, even though we played a game before. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris, go.
No. It's me who cut you off. But I was just about to say, usually we fare rather well against the Jets on the overall.
That's true.
Like I think again tomorrow would be a statement game, but just to stick with tonight's game as well, we talk about momentum and like we've criticized goaltending, and yeah, that being scored on 30 seconds after scoring the first goal hurts big time.
Hmm.
But what does this game look like if Demidov gets that tap in at the end of the first period?
Oh
That
my God,
unfortunate,
it's a
like
different
this is a
game.
different
Different
game.
game. Different game.
So
Totally, absolutely, you're absolutely right. I said it in the group chat. Like they needed that. They needed that goal. Yeah, totally. That's a great point. That's a great point. But I find again, dying seconds. You're trying to do so much too. Like, can we not put it on net? You know
We
what I
need to
mean? And
simplify it. We need to simplify the game.
I appreciate the talent and the creativity that some of these kids have on this team. I really do. But man, we go back to the same thing over and over again. That sometimes the basics is the best way to go about it. Somebody in the comments wrote, "It's time to split up Dobson and Matheson." What do you guys think about that?
sadly,
Mm,
not in agreement. This was one bad game, but this has been a great season, and this is the reason why
Yeah.
Mike Matheson signed in the first place. I'm not keen on changing that. And look, maybe I don't know if it's just he's criticizing both of them, but I think they've complemented one another well. If
Hmm.
for some reason there's a better fit down the line, and for some reason we want to reduce Mike Matheson's time even more when Caden Gooley comes back, let's have that conversation. But for now, don't touch it, please.
Should Caddier play with somebody else? Should Caddier play with a Mike Matheson? I don't know.
it's not that.
But well, what does the defense look like at that point in time?
Yeah, the
Where
thing
where
is, the
where does it
pair,
shift? Let's say
what
Caden Gooley's healthy. What are your defensive pairings? Out of curiosity,
if Caden
no wrong
Gooley's
answer.
health if Caden Gooley's healthy, again, I'm not changing. I'm not splitting Mathis and Dobson. I think I'm putting Lane Hudson on the right, and you're putting Caden Gooley on the left. And then it's going to be your typical rotation between Jacka, Struble, and Carrier as your third pairing.
yeah, but the
That's
thing
what that,
is,
I'm trying to think that was that those were the pairings at the beginning of the season when things were going well, right?
There's just one thing that I don't like, and then Joey, I'm going to hand it off to you. Matheson is very offensive minded, as well as Dobson. And sometimes what is occurring and where they're getting themselves into trouble is both of them end up going up, and somebody's not reading the play and not getting back. And then we have these odd man rushes that get us caught. So I would go as far as saying I don't want to wait. Like I don't want to waste um, Dobson's offensive potential. And as crazy as this is going to sound, I don't want to waste Mike Matheson's potential. And that's why I would say I'm not at this moment in time, do not break that pairing up. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
also open to the idea of having very defensive minded players like Arbor
Yeah,
Jacka. You're never going to see him pinching ever,
ever.
unless it's for a hit. But he's not going much further past the halfway mark, the center line. So
You
it's
know what the
I'm not, and I'm
yeah
not, I'm not. I'm, by the way, just before
yeah.
fans start like turning off the episode, I'm not implying that Arbor Jack I should play with Noah Dobson. I think that would be wasteful. I am just saying having an extremely defensive minded player with both Matheson and Dobson independently might not be the worst idea either.
But you know what I'm noticing? I think I'm noticing Noah Dobson being a lot more comfortable now with his team, with the system, with his partner too. Because at the beginning of the season, Noah Dobson was a lot more reserved than what he actually is, and it was working. It was great. I feel like now, like especially after that, was it the Toronto game where he was just like, okay, I'm sniping in two tonight. I feel like after that game, like you really saw him reach a very comfortable level or a comfortable zone that now I'm starting to wonder: are both of these guys becoming a little too offensive minded? That I like. From the beginning of the season, before it started, I wanted to see Gooley paired up with Noah Dobson, but then everyone's like, well, you can't put Matheson and Hudson together because Matheson can't play on the right. Why should you put Lane Hudson there? Blah blah blah. But No, listen. Once Caden Gooley is back, and he should be back January, I think end of January. Kirby Doc's supposed to be back end of December, just right after Christmas. Joey, I know you wanted to say something too. Sorry, before I
Yeah, just
took over.
no, it was just considering concerning the pairings. I mean, Chris, you want defensive with offensive, even if you're adding Gooley. If Matheson, Dobson, and Hudson are technically offensive, and Caden Gooley's two ways / defensive, how do you make it work without putting Carrier, Jackeye, or Struble on the top four if the idea is to have someone defensive with Dobson or Matheson, unless you're moving likely Matheson down to the third pairing? How do you make that work? Because that's our top four defensemen. So unless you bring in that mindset, it's like, well, one of them is going to play on the third pairing. You have no choice but to pair them together, which has worked well for the most part. And if they were to be split up now, it's just more maybe to balance out and to cover for Gooley's injury. But when Gooley's back, I think, like Sam said, that has to be your top four, and they just have to figure out a way. I don't think bringing
It's all
Carrier,
about. Yeah. Sorry, Joey. Sorry, Joe.
yeah, I was just going to say Carrier, Struble, or Jackeye. I don't think the solution is to bring one of them up to the top four, just to have someone more stable next to Dobson or Matheson. So
It's about load management. That's what
Exactly.
that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be about load management. Like right now, with Caden Gooley injured, you have. I mean, I know Noah Dobson's played on the penalty kill a little bit more, but when Gooley comes back, like you gotta put him on the penalty kill. You gotta put Carrier on the penalty kill. You gotta put either Struble or Jack on the penalty kill, and then you have Matheson. Like those are the four guys. Like I really Lane Hudson's never going to be on the penalty kill unless there's unless like two defensemen are in the box, but yet you somehow remain a 5-on-4 penalty kill. That's the rare exception. If you keep Noah Dobson and Lane Hudson just on power play minutes outside of 5-on-5, that's how I think that's how the coaches can properly manage the minutes for the defenseman. But you got to wait till Caden Gooley comes back, and then we go from there.
the only reason to split them now, like I said, is he's injured. You want to balance the lines out a little more. Then sure, experiment, and it's not going well. Like the team, not the pairing. So, but when Gooley's back, you got to figure out within them four who's with who, and figure out defensive responsibilities and reading the play to make sure somebody's there if the defensemen go up.
Here's what I wish would happen. I wish tomorrow for the Andrei Markov ceremony, they make an announcement. The Canadiens sign Andrei Markov to a 10-game contract so he could reach game 1,000 with the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, I hope they can do it. Well, he was in town, right? So
Does he have to play 10 games?
He's at 990 games, dude.
No,
Career
I'm
games.
saying, does he have to play the 10 games to hit
He
the
would have to
1,000?
be
Like,
dressed.
he has to,
He would have to
dress,
be
no?
dressed, yeah.
You'd have to be dressed?
I think so.
Okay.
You think you see
So-
that happening? Because it would be nice to hit.
No, I don't see it happening. It's a wish. We're talking about dreams here, so I
I'm
might as
pissed
well
that-
add in another
I'm
one.
really disappointed he never hit the 1,000.
He got robbed of that opportunity, and yeah,
Fucking robbed. Because Marc Bergevin played hardball with him, only to sign Carl Alsner.
Yeah,
if you can imagine.
I think so. The thing about Bergevin, that whole comment about if you want loyalty, buy a dog. I think he said that because I really think he thought that Radulov and Markov were going to be loyal to the team, and maybe I don't know what was going to happen, take a pay cut or maybe they had an agreement or something. Then something along the way happened. Yeah, he did play hardball. He did mismanage that, but I don't know how. I don't know how you could drop the ball on that. Like some story has to come out somewhere about like whether it's Markov or Radulov, but we'll stick to Markov in this case. Like even I don't know. Like I don't know if I've heard any stories like what happened. Like obviously I'm
And
pretty
he's
sure
back in the
Markov.
building and he's accepting a ceremony. I don't think something. I think it was between him and Bergevin because I don't think
Yeah.
he's mad at management or maybe I don't know. It's so weird because 10 games
No,
left.
it's just
We're the
no,
heart of
but
this team. You know, like
yeah, you know what though? The more I think about it, that I like Markov was a perfect assistant captain, but for some reason, like it just struck like a type of like what if scenario in my head when there was that whole Markov, PK, Subban, Thomas Plekanec that like there was no captain picking no captains and all that bullshit that happened before Max Pacioretty became captain. I'm not like they should have given the captaincy either to Markov or Plekanec that year. Like I really, really, really believe that. And if Markov would have never gotten the C on this team, he was definitely deserving of the A. But like for some reason, like just like a day or two ago, like leading up to this Markov celebration that's coming up tomorrow night, like I thought about that. I was like, man, like again, the coaching staff and Bergevin, it's unfortunate, but I think they mismanaged so many things. Did they know any better? Probably not. I mean, was Michel Therrien really strict in his ways and stuff? Probably. You know, if you were to look back now, you'd probably be like, well, maybe now that I know better, I probably wouldn't have gotten a certain way on how I went about things. But yeah, no, Bergevin, yeah, man, he unfortunately robbed Markov of a pretty amazing milestone within this Montreal Canadiens organization.
yep.
Robbed
Couldn't agree more.
robbed Carey Price from having a team in front of him for nearly a decade. Robbed us from having Brady Tkachuk as a draft pick rather than KK, who walked off for nothing. Don't get me wrong. Before I go down a super negative angle, he did a lot of good. I mean, look at Nick Suzuki, our captain.
Yeah,
Gonna play for Team
yeah,
Canada,
for sure.
I have to say. But like, yeah, Marc Bergevin, he had some home runs, but my God, did he have some major strikeouts?
Yeah, one was like a lot of 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, right? I mean, like I said, hindsight is always 2020 after the fact years later, but I'm happy that they're giving Markov some kind of ceremony and recognizing like what he brought to this team. Only played for the Montreal Canadiens, which is very
Rare.
very rare, very very rare. Even though he started his career in like 2002, I think. My favorite memories of Markov is always when he would find Kovalev on the far right circle, either on power plays or whatever. He would just these crazy cross ice passes to Kovalev, and Kovalev would just snap one timer and like just they call him the general for a reason. Look how much PK Subban loves him. You know what I mean? Like Subban learned so much from him. Like when Subban started, he was paired up with Hal Gill. I'm sure Hal Gill was a mentor, but throughout Subban's entire career, or at least his entire stay with the Canadiens, it was always Andrei Markov that was his mentor, and they were one of the best, whatever, maybe not the best pairings in the NHL, but I think one of the best pairings in much recent Montreal Canadiens history. At least I think.
I agree. You guys always every time I'm on here, I know it's more rare these days. Bergevin's name always comes up. I think you do it on purpose.
There's something about your face, Joey, that just brings out the worst in us when we talk about past management and coaches and shit.
You could mention anybody, but when I hear that name, I literally I get chills. I get shivers. Cannot
Yeah.
hear that name anymore.
No, it's not a coincidence that Andrei Markov he's what, tied for second all time in points in Montreal Canadiens history. Like there's a reason for it. It's not a coincidence. And imagine he's up there with the Larry Robinsons, the Serge Savards, and the Guy Lapointes.
Yeah,
Andrei
there's a
Markov,
reason, sure.
right up there.
Just
Anyways, we'll
fight.
see. We'll see, boys. We'll see
So you want to
tomorrow,
get
boys.
into? Do we have any Instagram questions?
Yeah, we actually do. I'm gonna pull this right up right here. If you just
Want to take
bear
a
with
moment
me.
to thank everybody who is watching us live now on YouTube and X. Thank you for your love and support. Thanks for some of the comments on YouTube from Polly T3339, Roberto Simoniello, one of our top fans out there, and then Kristen H7Y2X. Thank you guys for your love and support, and everybody watching on X. Thank you. So,
Okay, we got a few. I'll start with a positive one. I Chris _ Hawawini. I don't get. Anyways, I mean the power play was good.
Yeah, that's what we mentioned. At least it was a positive, right? The power play's been a bit better lately, but they need the 5-on-5 to step up for sure.
Okay, Jason T. Lalone. How about Montembeault? Is I'm not gonna mention this word, but it's just LOL. But he's just not happy with Montembeault tonight. All right, we'll just leave it at that. Malik Joe, a longtime follower and supporter. So I posted a story with me like just looking to the skies, being like, I don't even know what to say. So Malik Joe says he's like, I know what to say. ... Fuck. That's very true.
Right.
Angie _ Mancini. But can our goalies try to stop some rubber? If our D is having a bad night, they have to stop it. When you're talking about rubber,
Gone are
and
the
D,
days of Carey Price.
yeah. No, she's not wrong, man. She really isn't. N.Home11. I don't care if Fowler is young. Bring him up and see how he plays. Our goaltending is okay.
And I would rather see the Montreal Canadiens go and trade for another goaltender rather than bring up Jacob Fowler right now.
I agree.
As long as that goaltender doesn't have a long-term contract, please let him develop. Do not put that pressure on the kid and bring him up. I don't care how bad Monty or Dobish are playing. It's not a conversation.
It's not time to bring Fowler.
End of story.
I'm fine with that. To me, it's either Dobish. He's ready. I'm saying let him progress as an NHL goalie and have Monty be there when ready, or trade for one. Nothing with Fowler, not yet.
Don't touch another W tonight. The Laval Rocket played against the Providence Bruins. Fowler in net. Another W to his name. I understand the thought of it. The thought is extremely tempting and seductive.
We can't wait.
We can't wait for sure, but
it's too soon. Let's not jump.
Can't wait, but we have to.
Don't bust a nut too early. You know what I mean? Let's just gotta chill with that. But
the 4 prospects in a rush, Sam, from what you mentioned, the 4 that are going to make the NHL for us. Fowler, I can never say his name properly. The Russian
Zarovsky,
Reinbacher.
Age.
Oh my God! You mentioned the 4th.
Come on,
Age.
He plays for Michigan.
Hage. Michael Hage.
Thank God I said it only 4 times, but
I didn't hear.
Joy, I'm sorry. Apparently, you need hearing aids. Chris, your voice signals didn't reach South Korea. Don't forget, there's a delay.
Pas de connexion.
Yeah. And last but not least, Vitherson.B is the Molson Cup curse. We tend to lose almost every first home game of the month.
That is true. Maybe it is a curse.
No. I went to the Ottawa game in November. No, the Saturday, November 1st, I was in Montreal.
When Newhook got injured? Is that the one that Newhook got injured?
No,
Newhook busted his leg?
That was Dallas.
No, there was no injury on that game. November 1st,
You're right.
Molson Cup, and Montreal won that game in overtime against the Senators.
Yeah,
I think Caulfield definitely deserved it, though. Big time.
100%.
I do agree, though. We seem to lose more than win, but it does happen that we won that game at least. Maybe Anthony, he needs more of your face after the Molson Cup.
If they win tomorrow, then
we need to go to every game.
I haven't seen a loss this year yet, so.
Please.
I just fucking jinxed it.
Porco Dio, please bring something to this team. For once. Well, for once. Since all season. All right, boys. I think that's all I got for tonight.
All right.
I'm gonna go watch Mark Bergevin. Oh my God!
Wow. I think it's time to
Oh,
close
that's
this
not
up.
good. I think I'm gonna go
Ladies
see
and gentlemen,
Always having daytime nightmares.
Marty's
thanks.
press conference, not Mark Bergevin's press conference. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Once again, I'd like to thank all our followers who tuned in on YouTube tonight and on X. Thanks for all your love and support, all those comments. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, if you love what you hear, you can listen to any of our podcasts on any podcast platform such as Google, Spotify, Apple Music. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok for more content. Like and subscribe on YouTube to see our beautiful faces. And also, I'd like to thank our sponsors tonight, Let Us See Lafrene, Habs Cave, and Mike's Barbecue Rubs. All their information will be on our Instagram page. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we can give some good news tomorrow night. Until next time.
Go Habs, go!
I know.
Good night from Seoul, South Korea.
Good night.
Joey, you better be on tomorrow night. Andrei Markov night. We need to see your face there. Okay.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Honesty. Yow.